Welcome back to Hope at Dawn. My name is George Gishuru.
I don't know why I'm yawning today so much.
Why are you yawning? Are you hungry?
Sijui kama ni njaa ama ni unajua nikifika Thursday waga nimechoka sana.
The one thing I can promise you, there will be breakfast after the show. Take heart, sister.
Thank you, brother.
Sister Beatrice. Newspaper review. What's being reported in the dailies this morning? Daily Nation, they go with the headline, Health in Crisis. That is the headline in the Daily Nation. So they're saying, don't fall sick in Kenya today. It is day 7 of a doctor strike in public hospitals to demand better working conditions, posting of medical interns and a medical cover. Private hospitals in rural areas are turning away patients with NHIF cards over a 6 billion shillings debt, while the Medics Association has issued another strike notice over mandatory electronic tax invoicing. A health catastrophe looms if a solution is not found. It's a story you can read on pages 6 and 7 as patients, they say, continue to suffer as government, doctors union failed to agree on return to work formula. And sad story. And as they say, don't fall sick in Kenya. But of course we know it is not the wish of anyone to fall sick.
That's true.
You just find yourself sick. So we are hoping that there will be a solution to the standoff. We are praying that there will be an amicable resolution to the current stalemate between the government and the medics over the situation that is currently engulfing the health sector. So not only are we having the strike, but also you had that private hospitals in rural areas are not accepting NHIF cards because of
the debt that has now accumulated.
Amount reaching 6 billion. So let's hope that there will be a solution to the same. In line with the same, because it touches on something to do with health. It's something also we've discussed off air. Flu or COVID? That is the question they are asking. Doctors warning amid outbreak. There is a surge in respiratory infections, which is raising alarm. And of course, you have had so many people who are raising the same. Flu, homa haishi. You know, so the doctors are raising that alarm, and we are yet to get a substantive statement on the same, whether it's a flu or it is COVID. And you can read that story on page 7. Housing levy faces yet another legal hurdle. President Ruto is facing yet another legal hurdle in his bid to implement the affordable housing project. After a new application, he is seeking to quash the initiative and was filed in court yesterday by a Nakuru-based surgeon, arguing the act is illegal and unconstitutional since housing is a devolved function. That is what the case is all about. Read that on page 2. But even as they do so, remember, it has already been assent. The courts have not stopped it. So 1.5% will be deducted at the end of this month. Kupet in strike threat over school cash delays. Teachers vow to down tools in second term. That is a story you can read the back page. So school heads say they are struggling to keep schools running amid cash crunch. PSA's ministry is considering slashing capitation per student. So this is another crisis that is looming this time round in the education sector. We touched the health sector, now we are entering the education sector, because they are saying second term they will be forced to down tools because of lack of funds in the same. I also see MPs want details of 7 billion shillings payment for unconsumed electricity made public. It's a story you can read on the back page of the Daily Nation. Now we go to the sports pages. Rear field events medals light up Team Kenya camp. Ngii retains race walk title to hand Kenya first gold in Accra. Smooth Mora wins 400 meters title. I also see Wafalme sweep past Burkina Faso to storm semis. That is Wafalme Stars outside hitter Dennis Omolo believes they have what it takes to reach the final of the African Games in Accra, Ghana. Omolo starred as Wafalme defeated Burkina Faso by 3-0 of 25-10, 25-22, 25-21. That was in the quarterfinals played yesterday to set up a semi-final showdown against Cameroon tomorrow at the Methodist University multi-purpose. I see also there is an opinion here, an opinion article by a Kenyan football legend, Dennis the Menace Oliech, and he's saying, President Ruto, please help fix our football for the sake of hustlers. Look at how our leagues are struggling. And that is an article you can read on page 42 inside the Nation. I also see Kiptum immortalized. This is in line with our promise to honor Kiptum when alive and in death. World record holder posthumously, first person to be inducted into Talanta Hall of Fame. And we see there CS Ababu, who visited the family yesterday. And also they were rewarded with a cash reward from the ministry. I also see racing in memory of Dad. Vora lost his father in a 2017 road crash along the Amboseli-Namanga Road. The Kenyan driver will be looking to improve on his 16th place finish in last year's competition. That is in as far as the 2024 World Rally Championship Safari Rally is concerned. 7 days to go. And so you can read that on page 40 inside the Nation.
All right, beautiful. And looking at the Standard, the very first thing is, of course, on the housing levy. And I see here, not so fast, Mr. President. But I see here, grounds in the petitions, actually, the Act threatens the freedom to own property by proposing to compel civil servants to participate in a mandatory savings scheme disguised as a means to facilitate property acquisition. I see Section 42B of the Affordable Housing Act 2024 offends the irrationality doctrine and is contrary to Articles 40, 43, and 46 of the Constitution. Section 43B of the new Act ignores role of Kenya Revenue Authority as tax collector, and also Section 43 as read with Section 11.4a provides for a collector of the funds faceless, shadowy entities not recognized by law. And also the Constitution. I see here the state is avoiding its obligations and instead wants ordinary citizens to perform the functions of the government. Yesterday I was thinking the same thing,
Yes.
There are things that the government itself, it is their responsibility
Yes.
for them to say, we want to bring affordable housing. It's like making roads. It's being told, tutakuwa tunawakata pesa kila mwezi ndio tujenge barabara. We don't see that. It is the money that already is being collected through taxes that needs to be well accustomed and distributed
to the different
This
sectors.
should not be a burden that we have to bear. This is a role of the government. That's the argument that we are seeing here. And by the way, I concur with it, because when you think about it, housing levy, and then we have this project. Ni kama sasa, for example, SGR. Ingesemekana mnakatwa levy so that the SGR can be made, or mnakatwa levy so something that is supposed to bring development in our countries to happen. Where do we draw the line between the things we are to take care of and the things that are necessarily for the government?
Because
it's a heated one.
Kenyans are asking, can we see where this money is being taken? Kenyans are not against taxation. Kenyans want their taxes working for them.
Yes.
But now when we are seeing these taxes, but then again, you are having deductions, NHIF. But then again, I cannot use my NHIF card because there is a debt. Yet every month, I'm being cut. There are deductions every other month. But then again, when I want to use that card, I can't because there is a debt. Accountability. Where is the aspect of transparency, accountability, and all these things?
Yeah, and whose responsibility is it? Because it's not ours. We've done our part. Our employer has done
someone
their
else, has dropped the ball, and we need to see action, and we see action and quickly, because these are not small amounts. When you mention of 6 billion, it's a huge amount. When you go now to the education sector, Kenyans again are paying their taxes, but then again we don't have capitation for the schools.
How do you explain? And then now we have this housing levy being introduced, because it starts off very well.
Yes.
And then we get to a point you can no longer trace where the money is going.
Health now we are shifting from NHIF to SHIF.
Yes.
Right?
Shifting to SHIF.
Yeah, we are shifting to SHIF. So we have also now an increment of the amount of money that will be deducted. But already the small we are being cut You can't account for it.
We can't account even for, oh my.
So it's what the Bible
Sembuse.
says. If you cannot be trusted with little,
With little, how can you be trusted with many?
yeah,
May God help us.
yeah,
May God help us
ni maoni tu.
and give our leaders wisdom,
Yeah,
because this is getting on just another level. Let's see how it goes.
And also we stop selfishness. At times it's all about selfishness.
It's selfishness.
Think about the country.
Oh,
think about
my.
the people. Think about, especially when you're stealing money meant for the sick.
Ah,
Surely.
that is inhumane.
It is.
I feel like these people don't even realize the weight.
Hii pesa itakufuata na sio tu wewe, najiletea tu laana na jamii yako yote.
And Gigi has spoken.
It's
That's
wrong.
true.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
sad, and we
yeah.
need to keep praying for our country, and at the same time pray for our leaders, because this is just on another level.
Yeah.
You know. But let us go on. As Kenya Kwanza MPs admit to passing bills that have not read, and this is still on the story. And William Ruto is saying here, there are some suggestions that MPs should disclose how they voted when the bill is tabled in Parliament. But personally, I am waiting to see any MP who will shoot down that bill. So now it looks like it's a threat,
Yeah.
you know, wacha nione. And then what?
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy. But you can look at that story in more detail. That is on the Standard. And I believe this is something that we all need to really be part of, 6 to 7, all the way to 7. And I also see here in the second page, more pain for patients as doctors in referral hospitals join strike. And, you know, even as we are talking about, you know, this flu and corona and all that, all those allegations, and coming at a time when actually doctors are striking, I mean, it's a really, really tricky time as well. Still on that direction, it's literally a mess, because at the end of the day, when people are doing things in secret, bado itatoka, and it comes out in a very bad way.
Yeah.
A very, very bad way. And in other news, of course, page 4, that is the story where you can get new threat for Ruto's pet project as cases poke holes into new levy. Have a look at it on page 4. And I also see here page 6, still on the same story. So have a look, page 7 as well. And when I look at the sports page, the back page, I see mother and daughter out to conquer 2024 Safari Rally. This is interesting. You know, very interesting. 19-year-old Tinashe Gatimu will be competing alongside her mother.
Wow. Wow.
Like mother, like daughter, for sure.
Yeah.
And then we also see page 39, no room for error as the Eldoret City Marathon draws near. Take a look at that story on page 39. And page 38, we have Nia girls and a gangers mixed make flying start in Kisumu. That's on some local sports.
All right, Business Daily, just 2 items here. 2/3 of full-time workers are taking upside hustles to survive. So 2/3 of Kenyans on permanent jobs are taking upside hustles to cope with the tough economic times, a new survey has revealed. I also see state picks team to exempt farmers from KRA's e-teams. A newly set up committee will come up with a temporary solution to relieve farmers from a requirement by the taxman to produce electronic invoices for their sales. You can read that on Business Daily. And on the lifestyle, Kenyan executives drop the colonial suit for hip look.
Oh, wow.
That's the life pull out.
The lifestyle pull out. Okay,
Business Daily. So that's what's being reported in the dailies
Yes.
this morning. You can grab whichever daily so that you get to see what's being reported. Let's continue to pray for this, our nation.
Yes.
Hatuna substitute.
Aki.
Na hakuna pahali pengine tunaenda.
Aki,
Yeah,
Kenya
this is the
ni
only
yetu.
country we have for us and our generations.
That's true.
So let's continue praying for for the state.
Absolutely. And right about now, we're going to take a short break as we look at the video of the day. An interesting one. I will be coming back to talk about it.